Have you ever taken a trip and when you walk through the door, you come home and you think to yourself, I have way too much stuff? Well, one of the things I love about travel is it gives me perspective on my stuff. The things I have, the things I want, and the things I actually use, love, and value. Travel doesn't just give me clarity about the things that I want to declutter. It reminds me that I am more important than my stuff, my family is more important than our stuff, and experiences are way more important than stuff. Whenever I come home from a trip, after using a fraction of my belongings and being perfectly happy, it really allows me to easily identify the things that I can declutter. So today we're going to have some fun. I'm going to take you around my house and I'm going to show you the things that I'm going to declutter. Let's get started. Are you one of those people like me that is an overpacker when you're traveling? That was such a bad thing for me. I would stress so much about what am I going to wear on these trips. I would pack so many things that were just in case. Well, what if I need this and what if I need that? And maybe this will look good on me, and maybe that will look good on me. Well, all of that changed when I found out this little trick here, which is also super useful when you're trying to declutter. And that is, take a picture of yourself in front of a full-length mirror. Not just your front, but your sides and your back side, and see if you really feel confident and comfortable in that outfit. I packed this last time when I went on this trip. It was the best time I have ever packed in my life. And that's why I know for sure I will be doing this tip from here on out. So when I did that though, I absolutely identified a couple of things that I've been on the fence with for a long time. And these two pants here have been on the chopping block for a long time. I actually had these in my video where I did the Marie Kondo method of decluttering, where I took all of the clothes out of my closets, out of my drawer, stuck them on my bed, touched them, and thought to myself, am I using it? Do I love it? You know, that whole thing. Does it bring me joy, spark joy? And these did not spark joy, but yet I kept them. There was a lot of comments in that video that, yes, those pants look so cute on you, you should keep them. And I just don't feel comfortable in them for whatever reason. I don't think I have the height to pull these off. So I'm going to declutter these once and for all. When I was going on my trip, I took the pictures in these with different tops, like a tank top or a t-shirt or whatever it was. And each and every one of those pictures, I just didn't feel confident. And so they're going to get decluttered this time once and for all. But these pictures were so telling to me. It's like you see yourself in different angles, and it really does allow you to know whether you feel good in something or not. And this beautiful top here, it's so cute. It's got great material. I do love stripes, especially black and white, but I don't love turtlenecks. And this is something I shouldn't have purchased in the first place. And in retrospect, would I buy it again? No, I wouldn't, because I don't like anything on my neck. And I have just come to the conclusion that I'm going to let this go. I don't think I'm going to wear it next winter. I didn't wear it most of this last winter, except for one video, my Christmas video, and I'm just not going to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go. And these two tops here, they're little black t-shirts. One I shrunk and one I stained up. So I'm going to let these guys go as well. And this shirt is one of those situations where I did buy a duplicate and I really wished that I didn't. I don't like the big wide stripes with this one, and it just didn't fit as good as the black one that I bought. So I always reach for the black one. I never reached for this one, and I'm going to let this go. And last but not least, these here are trouser socks, and as you can see, the two colors that are left are like a nude and a brown. I never wear those colors. You'll notice that there's something missing here. That's the black, and I have black shoes that I wear with these. And you can see these ones here that are left, the brown and the nude, they're not being used. I'm just going to go ahead and declutter those. When I'm traveling, I often notice that there's only one or maybe two bed sheets, pillowcases, etc. at the travel unit that I'm staying in. And that is exactly what happened this time as well. So when I got home, I thought to myself, I don't really need this extra set of sheets. It's not quite right. It never has been, but yet I've been keeping it in my house, even though I got a new set of sheets a long time ago. So I'm going to let this go. And these pillowcases here, I'm going to let them go as well. I tried to bring them on my trip this time just to see if I might use them while I'm traveling, but it really didn't do anything but take up room in my suitcase. Now this doesn't really belong in my closet and it's not located here, but I figured I would throw this in because it's little things for my dog, whether it's a hair bow or little scarves or whatever. These ones in the Ziploc, I'm going to donate to my local shelter so that when they're trying to get animals adopted, that they can make them look cute and pretty. And I am just not using these, and I know that they will. So that's where these are going to go. Am I alone in feeling this way, or do you guys have the same exact experience as me, where you walked through the door and immediately you just felt kind of enclosed? If you did, let me know in the comments, and also let me know the things that you got rid of after having that fresh perspective. Now, you know how when you travel, you're taking out all of your travel gear and you just come across things that you're like, okay, this has either seen better days or I have something new, whether it was gifted or you purchased it, and you identify a lot of things that you no longer use, love, or value. Well, that really happened to us this time. So I'm going to show you exactly what we parted ways with. As you can see, I've got two of our swim bags. Now, when the kids were younger, we used to just pile everybody's things in these two bags, whether it was towels or swim shoes or whatever. These things have seen better days. The elastic is, where is it? The elastic here is just all tuckered out. The handles are tuckered out. The insides are destroyed. And frankly, everybody uses their own bags now. So these are no longer needed. And when we did the packing this time, we just really noticed, okay, everybody's got their own bag. We're going to go ahead and declutter these. They never really fit everything anyway for all of us, all six of us. So we're going to part ways with these. I mean, look at that. Oh, they got their use and I'm so happy. They had a long life, but they're out of here. So those are gone. And next up is water shoes. Now these are outgrown by some of my kids. They don't need them anymore. They found better ones, whatever. When I donate something like this, I always tape them together when it comes to shoes or anything that is a set. I will put the parts in a baggie and tape it to the main item, such as a hair dryer, for instance. You know, if you have a hair dryer and it's got all those little parts, I don't want that to be separated in a bag. So I try to make it easier for the donation center by taping those parts to the actual hair dryer. And the same goes with these shoes. I always tape pairs of shoes together because at my donation center, whenever I see gigantic bins, they literally have bins that are about 6 feet by, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet tall. At my height person, you can hardly even manage to look in them if you're looking for shoes, and none of the shoes are together. So you really have to dig through that bin to try to find a set of shoes. And sand is coming out of these all over the place. I have about, I don't know, about 4 or 5 pairs of flip-flops and water shoes. So those are gone. Get that sand off of me. And my husband, I don't know what he sat in, whether it was sunscreen or whatever, but there's a gigantic stain on the back of his swim shirt. So those are gone. And this swim shirt here, you probably can't see it, but it's all stained up. It's got thin areas in it. It is no longer useful. So we're going to part ways with that. That's also my husband's. I have a swim shirt that was mine. I don't have the bottoms in this color anymore. I decluttered that in one of my last videos. So this can go. And then we have 4 toiletry bags that we no longer use, whether it's the size or they're worn out or they're not clear, and you kind of need the clear ones these days if you're going through the TSA checks so that they can check everything for you, and your toiletries if you have a carry-on, and that's how we travel mostly. So these are all getting decluttered. And last but not least, we're decluttering some of our little travel containers. These ones are silicone, and it's just not my favorite, I found out. So all of these are going as well. Even some sets come with a spray bottle. I don't need those, so I'm going to let these go to somebody who could actually use them. These little baggies too, we just never use them. I thought that maybe we could put jewelry in them or something like that, that would be helpful for travel. But I've kept them the last several times and I just never use them. So I'm going to part ways with these as well. This is also huge. I picked up all of these little travel soaps and shampoos, conditioners, that kind of thing. But what I found out is that none of my family members like these. So even though and you know what? I don't think they're unscented either. And we're really sensitive, so we oftentimes have to have unscented things. And these have a real heavy scent, so that's probably why none of us like them. But I'm going to give those to our donation center, and they actually have a food bank, and they collect things like this so that the homeless shelters can have them, and that really helps them out. So why am I keeping something when it can be taken to the donation center and make somebody else's life easier? As you can see behind me, it's my cups and mugs cabinet. I have my glasses, my coffee mugs / tea mugs, and just some miscellaneous things. But of course, when I was on my trip, I have very limited things. And guess what we did? We just washed things after we used them. So even though there was probably 1 or 2 plates or 1 and 2 bowls or 1 and 2 cups or mugs per person, there were 6 of us, it's just all that we needed. So when I got home from this trip, it was really obvious to me that I needed to let go of some of those cups, especially the water bottle types. So I found these in my cabinet and I'm like, I think I'm gonna go ahead and part ways with these. We have many in the same size. We have different varieties in the same size, and I just don't need these. So these are going to get donated to somebody who can actually use them. And I will say too, these were freebies that I should have just said no to. So in the future, when I come across something that is just free to me, it doesn't mean that I need to take it. I am going to say no. I remember going through my closet in one of my recent videos and identifying a shirt from a walk that we did. And I thought to myself, the next year when we do that walk, I'm definitely not going to take a free shirt. And it goes the same with things like this. If it's free, that doesn't mean that you need to take it home just because it didn't cost you anything. And in fact, if you're not using it, don't be afraid to let it go. Another thing that I did was I relocated some of my dishes to the top shelf, and I'm going to have those green and red ones now just be for special occasions and holidays instead of having so many plates on my main shelf. Now we each have a couple, and that is exactly how the rental was when we were on our trip, and it worked out so well. Another couple of things I decluttered in my kitchen. This little tray here, it's sort of like a little container. It's meant to go in a fridge, but I used to have it in my desk drawer. And if you watched I think it was a marathon of decluttering and organizing my little office area or my multifamily space, I'll link that video below. But this used to be in the desk drawer, and it just didn't fit anymore when I added my new little compartments in there. So I tried to find another location in my home that I could actually use this in. I put it in my fridge, but you can see the size of this. It really wasn't good for anything. If you can help me out, let me know if you can think of some kind of use for this. I just cannot. I've looked everywhere, and if I can't, I'm going to declutter this. And next I have this little brush, and I got this at IKEA, but you can see it's brand new. I never ever use it because I found one that I like better from IKEA. It's kind of like a 2-for-1 kind of thing. There's a flat brush, and then the one like this sticks on top of it. So it's super useful because you have both of them and it kind of nestles together. So I like it so much more. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. And last but not least, I had an accident with my Tupperware brand container that's like this, and it's a pitcher. Actually, it's a gallon-sized pitcher. I tried to use this last year. I didn't like the lid at all. I didn't like this cap at all. It's even hard for me to use right now. I don't know if you can see, but there's no lip right here. So I guess you can push that, but that's very difficult. So there's no kind of prying this open very easily, and pushing this is just super hard. So I said, enough is enough. I broke down and I just bought the Tupperware one that I always enjoyed and used. And now I have that. And so I can declutter this. I also reduced my Pyrex inventory because how many are you going to use? And I use these things for freezing. I use them for storage in my fridge. So I do need a healthy amount because that's all I use. I don't use plastic anymore. But identifying what I actually use versus what was actually in this cabinet, it was a game changer. And that allowed me to get my food, my extra food like broths or noodles or anything like that that was located downstairs in our cabinets. I was able to bring them all up here. What a difference. So I would challenge you in your own kitchen, go through your kitchen, see if there's dishes you don't use, see if there's Pyrex or Tupperware that you just have too many of, and even pots and pans. Oftentimes, I think we might have 2 or 3 of the same exact size, and we just don't need all of that, right? So identify those extras in your kitchen and let them go. You'll be so happy you did. It's going to open up the space. Things won't fall out at you. It's going to be such an improvement in your day-to-day life. This here is my office supply area, and I have tape, markers, all of the craft kind of things in there. We like to make cards, so all of that kind of thing is located in here. But oftentimes we will do a project and we'll forget about it, and the next thing you know, we just have an accumulation of things, so much so that the drawers don't want to shut. I know we all have those types of things, right? But here's some things that we discovered, or I discovered, that we're not using and that I can let go of and declutter. We have all of these sticker books. Now, for whatever reason, when I'm making cards, we always gravitate toward the same 4 or 5 little books, and all of these ones here are either used up or we just never gravitated toward them. So I'm going to let these go. Secondly, we have these little fun doodles. We just never use them. And that's just one of those crafty type things. We're gonna let those go too. We have these little things that just somehow make their way into all of our homes. They have no use, and here they are. So those are going bye-bye. And I had to get a new tape recently. Usually I buy a multi-pack of packing tape because we go through our tape for whatever reason in this family. I always get it at Costco, but I don't have time right now to make it to Costco. So I asked my husband, could you please pick some up at our grocery store? He did, but he could not find any that did not come without the dispenser. So I'm going to declutter this dispenser because I already have one and I just don't need this extra one. So hopefully somebody can use this. This one here doesn't fall in the category of office supplies, but it got stuffed in this cabinet right before I left for my trip. I did an order for my Aveda curly hair product, and for whatever reason, when I checked out, it would not allow me to not get the free item that was associated with the purchase. So I got it, I opened up my product, stuffed it in my suitcase, and here we are with the free item. I looked at it, it's not something I ever will need, use, or love, so I'm going to pass this on to somebody who can use it. Last but not least, little art projects. I'm sure you have the same problem as well if you have any creative people in your home. Sometimes you just think that you're going to finish something and it never happens, and that's okay. We're not going to finish this project and we're not going to use this one that was done. It's just not going to happen. So they're going to get decluttered today. So the next time you take a trip, come home with fresh eyes and a fresh perspective. Take a look at the things in your home and see, do they really add value to your life, or are they actually a hindrance? Let me know if you've had the same exact experience as me, where you've come home, you looked around and you're like, wait a minute, I have way too much stuff, way too many things that are not adding value to my life, and way too many things that are actually taking value away from my life. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. I'm also going to leave you some extra videos that you can check out in my description, and also check out my channel page where you'll find all of my videos listed there. I post a new video weekly every Thursday, and sometimes I do a bonus video on Mondays, so check those out too.